Welcome back. It's game day. Got a headshot session for about 11 people in 2 hours, and here's all the crap I'm taking with me. Before we get started, let me remind you about my podcast. It's called Photobomb, comes out every week, and I co-host it with my good friend Booray Perry. You'll find a link to that in the description, as well as a link to all of the gear I'm going to be using today with links to Adorama where you can check those out. All right, let's do this.
We're on our way. It's not a far drive, but I always like to arrive early. I'm going to get there about an hour before first click, just to make sure that I've got plenty of time to set up, that I'm not in a rush, the client's not in a rush, and everything's going to go really smoothly. Okay, so I've arrived, I'm going inside, and now's the point where I go in. I don't bring my equipment in just yet. I go in, I say hi, I make sure I know where to unload, and just, I don't want to go in there with like a bunch of crap in my hands and sweating, carrying heavy stuff. I like to go in there, shake some hands, say hi, and so I'll do that, and then I'll start to unload.
All right, all set up, time to get started. All done, everybody's happy, just gotta pack up and head home and eat dinner. Yes.
Okay, it's the next day. I'm back in the studio, and it's time to deal with these images. In order to avoid the inevitable questions that you would put in the comments, I wanted to give you just a couple of pieces of information about that setup and how I process everything. First things first, I shoot into Capture One tethered with Tether Tools cables. It is the most solid setup I've ever used, and not only that, but it gives you the ability to do some really great editing and exporting in multiple formats as you go. Another great thing about Capture One is Capture Pilot, which comes along with it. It's the mobile app version, and so in this situation, I do allow people to see and select their images immediately on site, and Capture One on the iPad gave me the ability to have them distant from me and the computer, so it was just me touching my equipment in the computer, and they could select their images while keeping distant from me. And the cool part about that is, if they marked an image 5 stars, which I have them select their favorite and mark it 5 stars, it marks it in Capture One, so that when I sort all the images by 5 stars, I've already got everybody's selections lined up, sorted, and ready to go. One of my other favorite tips is I always shoot to an external hard drive when I'm doing these headshot sessions. You do not want to run out of space on your computer in the middle of a job. It is the most embarrassing thing, trust me, it has happened. So I always bring 2 drives with me, one as a primary and one in case that drive fails, so that I'm not saving the images to the computer. And the other advantage of doing it that way is when I'm done, I close Capture One, I eject the drive, and then I bring it to the studio, plug it into my desktop, and then all I have to do is open up that Capture One session, and I'm right where I left off, ratings, settings, and everything. So now instead of sending them a whole bunch of images they don't need or don't want, I'm only going to be sending them the edited versions of the image that each person selected. It serves the client really well, and it serves us really well. Let me tell you, it makes your client's life a whole lot easier to send them one beautifully retouched image per person rather than dumping a whole gallery of images on them. And it's a lot easier for me to do that as well. In a volume headshot situation, I don't necessarily do the retouching myself. I send those out to be retouched, and they're usually done within a day or so. Then I send the client the finished images through my gallery system, and that's all there is to it. Don't forget that there is a link to all of my portable gear in the description of this video. If you have any questions, load them up in the comments. I'm sure you'll have a few. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Oh, God, yeah.